about the star Sirius and the planet Mercury. As you can tell from the title, it's a Sirius vibe. This is Mercury retrograde. Now family, I had already shot this video, but I just told the goddess I had to shoot it again. Because for some reason, in my haste to deliberate a lot of this esoteric message to the family, right? And for me to give it in a flow, in a pattern that doesn't bore anyone, right? Because we did say that this channel is going to be exciting and entertaining. I mean, we don't have you there in a relaxed state and then you go and click away from that. No. So we're trying to keep it a little electrified, and in so doing, sometimes I actually miss certain points that I have to say. So here we go again. We're going to go through this again. So this video is going to be about the star Sirius. The family should know that this star is very significant, relevant to us within astrotheology, within astrology even. Okay? I say this because the family should have known or gotten that information from our previous video or What is God, that this star called Sirius, which is part of a constellation called Canis Major, which the ancestors anthropomorphize in the shape of a dog, right? This star Sirius, which is 23 times brighter than our sun, family, it actually gave birth to our sun within our solar system. Now the family knows that the sun is responsible for all life here on Earth. Okay? I'm talking about directly and indirectly. So if this star Sirius birthed our sun, that should show that this star is very significant as well. I mean, many ancient cultures believed that this star Sirius was en route towards where they refer to as heaven. Some other cultures actually saw Sirius as heaven, family. Take for example our ancestors in ancient Kemet, right? They associated this star with the deity, the energy signatures of the deity called, well, most of us call Isis, but her real name is Oset or Ost. So in so being, she deals with birth, rebirth, and death. So as a result, if Sirius is Isis giving birth to our sun, if Sirius is Oset giving birth to our sun, then our sun would actually be Heru or Hor. So this star Sirius, family, I actually forgot to give the origin where the name came from. It came from the Greek term Sirius, which means blazing or scorching. Okay? So the ancients took this star very seriously, because it's a Sirius star. It's the star called Sirius. So the Sirius star, family, because it gives birth to our sun, it can actually be referred to as the mother star or the mother sun. Alright? In so being, the ancestors referred to it as the spiritual sun. So the energy signatures associated with this star are basically intelligence and higher consciousness. As you can see, this star is right here. It's part of the constellation in Canis Major in our constellation chart. It's away from the ecliptic belt, however, that the 12 constellations reside in, but you will see it every night. Okay? It is the brightest star in the evening sky. Now, from July 3rd to July 7th, family, there is what is referred to as a Sirius gateway or a Sirius portal. So what is a portal? What is a gateway? I mean, a gateway, you open a gate for it to go through. So basically a gateway or portal is an opening between two dimensions, right? So from July 3rd to July 7th, it is referred to as a Sirius gateway. Why? Because within these dates, it will be seen that every morning our sun will appear to be rising with the star Sirius. Okay? Also, let us not forget that we have just passed, or we are roughly just a little over, the summer solstice, which is the point where the sun is standing still, but is at its most furthest point away from the earth. So the sun being furthest away from the earth, being in close proximity with the star Sirius, it will be as if the sun is amplifying a lot of the energy signatures that the Sirius star system is exhibiting, family. Okay, so if it deals with higher consciousness, this is a time where us as light beings should, use that time efficiently to help us elevate ourselves spiritually. So during this gateway, during this transition, family, all right, there are many things you can do to help raise your consciousness. Okay, but for this short video, we're just going to touch on 3 things. So 3 things you can do. All right. First off, what you can do is basically activate your third eye. So when that melanin cluster or energy center is actually activated, it can help you in the transition of downloads and messages via that gateway. The most easiest way, or the most correct way, I would say, to open your third eye would be to meditate and go through that transition of opening all the chakras. If possibly you do not have enough time, and I don't even want to put it like that, because to meditate you should have time on your hands. But some people like to just activate one specific chakra specifically for a purpose. in that case, what I can recommend, okay, there is a simple method that you can do. You can hover one of your hands in front of your third eye, okay, and go in an anti-clockwise direction for about 1 to 2 minutes. When that is done, you shake off your hand and then you go in the clockwise direction. What this does, the anti-clockwise direction, it actually cleanses the third eye, and the clockwise direction activates it. And after you've completed that process, just sit in a meditation and just let the vibe just come to you, family. Okay? The second thing you can do is automatic writing. Now, this is a method I use when I write a lot of the scripts for my videos. I start off with the intent and what I want to talk about, and basically I just let the downloads just come, okay? And the energy just work through me. So one can start off by journaling, and anything that is on your mind or probably troubling you, you can just start to write off, and then basically just let the flow just go with it. Okay, and the last thing you can do during that time period, you can charge your crystals overnight, leave it within that radiation and that energy spectrum of Sirius and even the moon, right? And the constellations. And in the morning, you can get the crystal, have a piece of time for meditation, and meditate with your intent, where you basically want to see the completion of your goals within that time period, family. All right? So that is basically what one would do, and the understanding of the Sirius gateway or the Sirius portal. Now, family, all of this can just sound like a whole lot of baloney, right? Just a whole lot of gibberish I'm talking. How do we know that the Sirius star system deals with higher consciousness? Take, for example, our sun, Ra, Atum Ra, all right? We have delineated and showed the family how our sun gives off an electromagnetic light spectrum, okay? That is proven, that is scientific, that is facts, right? Within that spectrum, family, one part of that spectrum, one part of that radiation is what they call radio waves. Radio waves are a type of radiation that carries sound messages. So this in turn shows that our sun actually communicates with us, and our sun is very intelligent, right? I mean, it's responsible for all life on Earth. So if our sun is that intelligent and giving off those vibration and frequencies to us here on Earth, the star which it is birthed from, getting back close to it for that time period, family, we can understand and see why the ancients would say that this star is associated with higher consciousness and higher dimensions. Okay? And the last thing you can do, obviously, we deal with our crystals. So you can put your crystals overnight to even soak in that energy of Sirius, okay? Because remember, it's the brightest star in the night sky. And within that time period, put it to get the morning rays with our sun and the Sirius star system. Okay, so that is Sirius right there, family. I mean, it was a serious vibe, and we had a little fun delineating it. It's a lot of information, but we're going to get it out there to the family. So it's a serious vibe, this Mercury retrograde. So while all this intergalactic and celestial happenings is going on, and we seem to gravitate towards goodness, there is a counteraction going on, because Mercury now is actually in retrograde. Mercury, which is the planet responsible for communication. When we say communication, we're dealing with listening, perceiving, and basically speaking or responding, right? And reading and everything that deals with communication, family. So if Mercury is in retrograde, for something to be in retrograde means that it's going in contrary or in opposition to its usual motion. So if Mercury, which is responsible for communication, is going in retrograde, what do you think that means? It means nothing but drama and confusion, family. Nothing but drama and confusion. So the Sirius gateway portal was open from 3rd July to 7th July. And 7th July, just as this gateway is closed, 7th July we're starting the Mercury retrograde, which lasts until July 31st. Okay? So during this time, family, we actually urge the family not to make any life-changing, any grand decisions within your life in that time period. Because due to the confusion within communication, sometimes what you may perceive to be a correct decision is actually not. I mean, there was, even some shit going on in my life personally. Consider last week, and even just a few days ago, and I was like, yo, what's going on? Why is all of this happening to me? So obviously, anything that is affecting us here on Earth, right, by energetically, it would have to be from above as well as below. So as a result, I went and did some research into astrology and realizing, yo, check what's going on, So as the elders say, if you didn't know your asters, because what we refer to as a star today, we call it an aster. If you didn't know the asters, your life would be a disaster. So I had to go in and check in the vibe and say, oh, is that what going on there? So one time I had to just make a little video about it, family, to just bring that information to you. Okay? So within that time period, avoid from making any drastic decisions. But we shouldn't just look at it on a negative aspect. This time period and Mercury being in retrograde will actually resurrect a lot of past and dormant, unsettled and unresolved situations, okay, and feelings and emotions, even people in our past family. So what do you do with this, right? Do not just take it in a negative aspect. When it comes, deal with it, but know that these things are actually happening for you to fully detox and purge yourself from it to evolve into the higher consciousness being that you're supposed to be. And having said that, family, peace, love, and bliss.